Abathor is a 16-bit inspired 80s and 90s roguelite game. Wait a second, roguelite? No. Well, now that explains why the final boss was so freaking hard to kill! Oh my gosh, the amount of time I fought this guy with my wife, I mean, Abathor is a story about how Atlantis fell to its hubris and a horde of demons as it conquered, well, Atlantis. It's up to you and 4 of your friends to go through the 10 zones of Atlantis and close the gates of Abathor once and for all. And haha, believe me, it is no easy task because it's roguelite! Why does every developer have to do roguelike? Why can't they just, you know, bring back a classic idea from Magic Sword or Rastan or Golden Axe? But no, they have to add that roguelike flavor to it, which just makes the game, well, you know, roguelite. So there's 3 difficulties for the game currently. Easy mode, which just gives you a lot of lives, and I mean a lot of lives, 99 lives. And trust me, you're going to need every one. Then you have normal mode, brutal mode, I think. Can I just interject here? I think it would be great for the developer Pixel Games and the publisher Junda Soft, I think that's how you say it. Maybe you guys should increase the amount of lives for normal mode, because look at this, you got 99 lives for novice or easy, and then look at normal mode. I mean, that's ouch. I'm just saying, maybe 25 lives, you know, in the next update. Anyway, this is a couch co-op game that you can play with 4 of your friends, and it is a blast. I played through the entire game with my wife, and this summer we beat another roguelike game without even realizing that's what this was. See, there was times where I was actually going kind of crazy, because like, wait a second, how did the boss improve that much? I mean, before we attacked him like this, and this time around we had to attack him like that, and all of a sudden he summoned more enemies, and he completely changed his pattern. Now it all makes sense. So this game is definitely more than meets the eye, but if you've played 16-bit arcade games like Golden Axe, Rastan, and even Magic Sword, I caught some of those influences in here. This is a labor of love to retro fans, and the game is totally worth it. It's available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. So let's talk about how the game works. So you choose 4 of your characters. You basically have Conan the Barbarian right there. He has a magic sword, but he doesn't do any summonings. Instead, he's got these little people to follow them. They're like little, what they call those things, familiars. You have a fish, you have a seahorse, and an owl. That's about it. Then you got a Valkyrie who has a shield, which my wife never used. It's like, Amber, you have a shield. What, is that just for show? And then finally, I think it was like on our 3rd live stream, she's like, oh, the shield blocks stuff. And I'm just like, I played as Conan because, I mean, let's face it, this dude looks straight up like Conan the Barbarian. You also have a thief-like character, which we never played as. And then you have this magic guy that, according to the trailer, he turns into a monster and uses magic, and he's the only one. So as you go over the levels, you'll run into a lot of different challenging enemies, and you'll want to upgrade as you go. And that's where this shop guy is going to come in handy. So you're going to walk up to Mr. Shopman and use the gold you've acquired from slaying enemies and doing a bunch of stuff, and these upgrades actually make you more powerful. Well, most of the upgrades. Why is there even a jump ability when the jump never worked? We upgraded the jump and the character never actually was able to reach a platform that was above him, frantically pressing the jump button, and to much to our chagrin, we couldn't even get up just a little bit higher. It was almost like they made the ledge that way just to troll us, which I didn't appreciate that. I was not let in on the joke, so, you know, why have a jump upgrade if you can't, you know, jump? You know, super jump would be nice, especially fighting some of the more, we'll say, interesting bosses. But anyway, all the other power-ups worked really good. You don't really have any super move per se. Your characters have a Y attack, since we're playing this on the Switch, and an X attack, which is going to be your character's signature move. For the Barbarian's case, Arnold would step forward and get smacked in the face as he brought the sword down. And half the time, yeah, he would just walk into people's punches. It was kind of embarrassing. The Valkyrie has a shield that she uses to block things when, you know, someone who's playing as Valkyrie decides to do that. But I can't really tell you about the cloak guy or the magic guy because, well, I didn't play as either one of them. Thought about it. One thing the game doesn't tell you is, unlike most arcade games, when you continue, you usually get to continue in the level that you last died in, right? Well, this game, not so much. Each level consists of various areas in one zone. There are 10 zones in total, and when you die in said zone, you come back and start at the very beginning of where you died. Also, all your upgrades are stripped away, but thankfully the developers actually let you keep most of your money. So when you finally run into the shop guy, well, then you can easily purchase your wares once again. Although, I would suggest make sure that you get the discount from the store first, and then the one where the monsters drop stuff, and then try to get like a one Atlantean upgrade to make your sword glow and stuff. Trust me, it's going to make life so much easier for yourself. One of the big problems I had with the game with the continue system is the fact that the shop guy sometimes is nowhere to be found, especially once you get to Zone 8. You get to Zone 8 and you continue after finishing a live stream. I'm just talking theoretically, of course. Your character would start over with nothing. And, well, you don't know when you're going to meet Mr. Shop Guy again, so that made the game go from, wow, this is really fun, to, yeah, that's paraphrasing, of course, but that's pretty much what it was. But it was fun from start to finish. The boss battles were really interesting. You had these massive mythic creatures from the Cyclops, the Kraken, and all kinds of weird Atlantean lore that I don't know. But the boss battles were pretty tight, actually. And don't underestimate them, because if you die, the next time you fight them, you're going to notice they have a few new tricks up their sleeves, which would be like, wait a second, I don't remember the Kraken doing that. Well, surprise, surprise, it's roguelite, so enjoy that. The story for the game is actually pretty interesting, and I really applaud the developer for writing an extensive lore for the game. Now, the game doesn't constantly explain what the story is to you. Instead, they give you the option, so it's optional, to be able to read about the lore of this Atlantean universe. And there is a lot of stuff. You can tell these guys did their homework. They have a love for fantasy and Atlantis stuff, and there is a lot to read. And we did enjoy, you know, reading them as filler for when we were waiting for stuff in game, or one of us was grabbing a snack, someone would read the different dialogue options, and we got a lot of backstory for the main characters and for the Valkyrie, and that was pretty much it. We didn't really read the other characters since we didn't play as them. But Krantor, the Conan character, he lost his wife, and he had a lot of bad stuff happen to him, and he's here to get revenge and close the door to Abathor. And then, of course, you have that one demon-like guy who's traveling with everybody. He looks like an elf. And he has a connection to the door, and, you know, once he closes the door, then the world will be saved. Unless you play the game on an easier difficulty, and then, well, you've doomed us all. Congratulations. And you don't want to try to play this game on brutal. The very, very few and brave individuals have beaten the game on brutal. And the upgrades don't get much better if you attempt that. So just take my advice. Let the world burn. In-game, of course. Not in real life, but in this game, yes. That being said, I do have some criticisms with the game. We did not like the final boss at all. The final boss, like, has you fight two forms, essentially. You have this one guy that jumps around and stomps on you, and then you have the big thing that comes out of the Abathor gate, and, well, they both change their pattern every single time you fight them. We probably fought them about 20 times in one stream. Also, you don't have the shop guy nearby, you have very few healing items, and, most importantly, you don't have a familiar. Now, for most of the game, they allow you to have a familiar to fight the big boss. And also, sometimes they give you a big summon, like a dragon, or Poseidon, or something like that, but in the later levels, like the last couple chapters, I believe Zone 8 through 10, those massive summons are now gone, and they don't explain where they went, but you can still get the little seahorse and some other stuff. But I mean, it would have been nice to be able to use some of those more extravagant super moves, because I mean, that's what Golden Axe was known for. You'd be able to pick up magic and you could use these amazing super moves. And you know, Magic Sword, the same thing. I didn't really play a lot of Rastan growing up, so I can't really tell you. I was more of a Golden Axe kid, because Golden Axe had 3 games, and even Magic Sword to me was pretty awesome. I had it on my Super Nintendo. So I'm familiar with the type of, like, platformers and arcade hack-and-slash beat-em-ups that Abathor is, you know, based after. So anyway, if you're interested in Abathor, I would totally check it out. It's an awesome game. It's pretty competitively priced, too, so compared to other indie games on the Switch, this one is definitely worth it. We didn't get a chance to play with 4 players, but I've heard 4-player is a blast. But this game was awesome to play with 2 people. It had so many references to great 16-bit games that you are really going to be surprised, including an Echo the Dolphin level with lasers. Yeah, that happened, as well as a Donkey Kong-inspired minecart of death journey. That was fun. But before we go, I cannot forget to talk about this game's amazing musical score. The composer was definitely heavily inspired by Golden Axe, Magic Sword, and I felt a little King of Dragons there a little bit. And, you know, the soundtrack is dope. You can actually go on their YouTube channel, the official developer, and you can listen to demos of the music, which you're actually hearing courtesy in this review, because, I mean, the soundtrack, it is epic. And it made the game so much more exciting. It made you feel like you were transported back to the 80s and 90s from where I came from, you know, playing those Golden Axe games, and, you know, that's what it felt like. And I really appreciate what the devs did with this game, and I hope they take criticism to heart and make some improvements, like make the jump ability actually, you know, jump, and maybe for new players have the option of a little upgrades before the final boss, or maybe some magic items that'll carry over, or a big summon like Poseidon or something, because, I mean, I didn't even know it was a roguelike game, and you know what? I'm definitely gonna hold on to that, and I'm gonna double check indie games that I look at from now on, because I'm not a fan of roguelike. Especially when I want my nostalgia. I don't want my Dead Cells or Dark Souls in my 16-bit adventure games, you know, tugging on my nostalgia strings and then making me, like, Hulk out. So, yeah, that's what I say. So, Abathor, check it out. I give this game an 8 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. It was one of the most fun games we played this summer, and I was honestly surprised that you guys enjoyed watching the Let's Play. If you want to see our journey together, start with this episode, because we actually went through most of the game in one go, because we had to start over again on easy mode, which they tell me that they're going to change the name to adventure mode, but I don't think they will. That was probably just to spare my gamer pride, which it did hurt switching to the lower difficulty, and it made no difference. The only difference was they give you a lot of lives, and they wish you the best of luck. So if you complete this game, congratulations. You beat a very difficult 16-bit nostalgia trap that is roguelike in disguise. And anyway, that does it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Also, thank you to our donators for basically sponsoring this review. It's thanks to you guys hitting that super chat goal that, you know, we dabbled with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and you had a lot of fun. And good luck to the developers of Abathor. Maybe we'll get an Abathor 2 that's not roguelike, because, you know, playing your game for the most part was fun, but also made me, you know, that. So bear in mind, you too may have Arnold Rage while playing the game, so be very careful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me what you thought about Abathor and my favorite character, Crandor, in the comments below. And stay tuned later today for an amazing Let's Play on something. I don't know. I only work here. God bless. Happy gaming. Goodbye.